Hi, Dr. Jeremy James here with another one of our Fit Forever fundamentals routines. This is a basic routine for back and core health. This routine is going to give you back strength, core strength, hip mobility, and mobility right where you need it to prevent the common aches and pains associated with sport and aging. All you're going to need for this routine is a mat or a place on the floor and some straps. Now we're going to use these TRX straps, but you can use a rolled up bath towel just the same, or you can use tubing if you have some handy. So Tony, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go down on the back, face up, knees bent. Now with this routine, we're teaching you a lot of fundamental movement patterns, and we're building strength in basic muscle groups that support the spine. So for some of our exercises, we're going to be doing isometric holds. That's because we're trying to build endurance in the muscles that support the spine. Endurance is different than strength. Endurance means the ability to maintain a light contraction over a long period of time, whereas strength means being able to maintain a forceful contraction in a short time. Now with the muscles that support the spine, endurance is more important for preventing injury because we want to maintain a light contraction to keep good posture as we go about our days, no matter what you're doing, whether it's just sitting around the house or you're outside playing golf, skiing, or doing some sort of sport. So basically, we're going to hold these about 5 to 10 seconds. If you're stronger and you're not new to this stuff, you may want to tend to do about 10 seconds. We're going to do somewhere in between, and we'll pause after each exercise if you want to hold another few seconds. So the first thing we're going to do, and you'll notice Tony has a towel here for him to relax his head on. If you want a pillow, that's fine. If you don't want a towel or pillow, that's fine as well. Whatever's most comfortable for your neck. The first thing we're going to do is that neutral spine march. Now, if you haven't watched the introduction to neutral spine in our Fit Forever program, I encourage you to watch that first. It goes into much greater detail. I'm going to assume you've watched that, and we're going to go right into it. So in this position, go ahead and relax your head. Tony has found his neutral spine, meaning the position of his low back that's the most comfortable. And now he's engaged his core to lock that position in place. So if I was going to lightly punch or tickle Tony, he would automatically lightly contract these muscles. So he's not sucking in really hard, just a light contraction. And I'm going to put my hand under his back to feel for any movement. Now maintaining this position, he's going to bring his right knee up towards his chest. Good. And as he puts that one down, the left comes up. Good. And let's go back and forth nice and slow. So the goal for this is to keep your lower back still. And this movement is going to translate, keep going Tony, into all exercises we do today. We want to maintain neutral spine unless I tell you otherwise. You're going to feel a little bit of work in the core, but the main thing is just teaching you a healthy movement pattern. So visualize right now, Tony is moving his hips independently of his low back. His low back is staying still, and that's a protective way to move. This is also an athletic way to move. When we get into more complicated and dynamic movements, maintaining neutral spine will prevent energy leaks and make you a better athlete. Okay, great. Let's return to starting position. The next exercise is a bridge. The bridge is one of our fundamental exercises in the Fit Forever program because it teaches you to hip hinge, which is important for picking things up and moving. It wakens and strengthens the gluteal muscles, which we all, or most of us anyway, have lacked strength and tone in because we sit a lot. And it teaches you how to move and how to control your core. So I want you to go up on your heels as Tony has, squeeze the gluteal muscles, and then you're coming up so you're in a relatively straight line from knees to shoulders. We're holding about 5 seconds, and then we're going to go down. So we want to prevent any rolling of the spine from one leg to the other. And if you get hamstring cramps like I think Tony is, you're going to want to push away from yourself into the mat. So you're digging your heels in and pushing away. Okay, squeeze the glutes, lift, hold. Thinking about gluteal contraction, push away into the mat if you're getting hamstring cramps. Slowly come down, hinging at the hips. We want no movement in the back. If you've been told before to articulate the spine, one vertebrae at a time, we want to prevent that in this program because it can cause some injuries and discomfort. Let's go again. We're going to do 4 of these. Come up, squeeze the glutes. You should feel a good contraction in the gluteal muscles. You can also push into the floor or mat if you'd like for a little extra support. Come on down, and let's do one more. Squeezing the glutes, holding, pushing away in the heels, and come on down. Well done. If you need a little extra time, take it now. While you're finishing that up, the next exercise we're going to do is the crunch. Crunches are better than sit-ups because repetitive flexion of the spine, which is what a sit-up is, will in time damage your lumbar discs. So with the difference between a sit-up and the crunch is that in the crunch, we're keeping neutral spine in place. We're not flattening the back. We're not rounding the spine as we come up. So Tony, if you can, let's get your hands behind your head. We're not yanking on the neck. It's just there for support. So we're going to engage the core, keep neutral spine, and just lift the shoulder blades up about an inch or two. Right there's plenty. We're going to hold for 5 seconds. I feel a great contraction right here. Tony's keeping his low back still. Let's go down. And we're breathing while we hold that. We want to be able to breathe while we hold contractions. Let's come up, keeping the lumbar spine still. Tony's not pressing into my hand. And down. Let's go up again. It's going to be really challenging for a lot of you not to move your back when you do this, and that's a big part of this exercise. Let's go down. So maintain neutral spine. Let's do 2 more, Tony. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want to keep going and hold for 10 seconds, that's good too. We'll give you a pause at the end. Come on up, hold. Well done. Relax. Keep going if you'd like to do a little longer contractions or a few extra reps. While you're doing that, we're going to grab our straps, and if you have a towel or tubing, that's fine as well, for a static hamstring stretch. So a lot of us have tight hamstrings that can put stress and strain on the back, causing low back pain or contributing to low back pain. So this stretch we're going to hold for 15 seconds. I want you to take that towel, strap, or tubing, put it under your foot, and then relax your body. Pull your leg towards you, keeping a straight leg, no bend at the knee, and only come as far as you can without bending the knee or moving your low back. So for Tony, that's almost 90 degrees, which is quite good. You may be way down here at 45 degrees or less. That's okay too. Range of motion will come in time, but don't compensate by rounding the back. Let's relax your neck, Tony. By rounding the back or bending the knee. And Tony has a history of knee issues, so we're going to baby his knee a little bit here. But for those of you at home, if you have to put a little bend in the knee because of knee pain, that's okay. Try not to bend too much. Okay, brace your core to protect your back, lower your leg. Again, we're holding that about 15 seconds and breathing. Brace your core, neutral spine, pull the leg up, hold. And you may have extra range of motion on one side. That's okay. If you want to work a little extra on the other side to balance it out, go ahead and do that as you go through this with a regular pattern over time. Great, Tony. Brace your core. Always brace your core when you're lowering your legs to protect your back. And here's a place where you might want to have a towel for your forehead, as Tony does. Some of you will find that less comfortable, and you can just go straight down. So Tony, let's put your hands down towards your sides, palms down. Great. So this is the I's and T's exercise. The purpose of this exercise is to wake up the muscles between and below the shoulder blades, and importantly, to turn off these muscles on top of our shoulder blades that become hyperactive because of this, which we all do all the time. Okay, so we're trying to turn on the muscles that do the opposite of this. So Tony's going to pull his hands down towards his feet, which is going to engage these muscles, and then lift his hands and arms off the ground and hold. Right there, feeling a good contraction in between and below the shoulder blades. And we're going to hold 5 to 10 seconds and down. Again, up, and every time you come up, pull your hands down towards your feet first to make sure we don't get this happening. We don't want the upper traps engaged. Relax. 2 more. These muscles right here should be soft, which they are on Tony. If you're feeling your shoulders come up towards your ears, stop, reset, try this again. If you can't bring your hands off the ground without these coming up, then just make the contraction, leaving your hands on the ground. Great, Tony. Now let's go into the T position, which is arms out. Now this is much more challenging for most people. Your natural inclination is going to be to do this. Okay, so bring the shoulder blades down towards your back pockets first, then lift, hold, and breathe. And your core should be engaged here to protect your back. Great, down. Let's do 3 more reps on this one. If you can only do a second or 2, that's fine. If you feel these muscles tightening up on top of your shoulders, those are the upper trapezius, I'd much rather you only make 1 or 2 second contraction before those kick in and then stop. Strength will come over time. We're trying to reestablish healthy muscle firing patterns here. Great. And let's do 1 more, Tony. You'll be surprised at how these simple little exercises can change things like neck pain and change our posture. Okay, great. The next we're going to do is a hip flexor stretch. So Tony, let's go into a kneeling position here. If this one hurts your knee, you can do it standing like this, but Tony's gonna do it kneeling. So our goal here is to stretch out the hip flexors, which attach to our lumbar spine and our thigh. So we have to make this motion to elongate that muscle. So Tony's gonna squeeze his left buttock, shift that hip bone forward, and maintain good posture. And you can notice he's on the ball of his foot, which is how I want him in a nice athletic position. Now, as you squeeze your buttock, in this case Tony's left, you should feel an intense stretch right through the abdomen or the groin of the left side. You feel that?
I do.
Good. This is a great stretch to do to prevent back injuries and to reverse the effects of all the sitting that most of us do throughout the day. About 15 seconds, breathing. Let's switch sides. Okay, so in this position, he's going to squeeze his right buttock, shift his right hip bone forward, and he's going to feel that stretch anywhere from about here below the rib cage to the top of the thigh and in the groin. We're breathing, holding about 15 seconds. So this was a quick routine that should be one of your regulars to prevent the common aches and pains associated with sports, associated with aging. Back pain's an epidemic in this country. This will prevent it for most of you if you commit to this. Remember, change comes with commitment. It takes discipline, but you can head off all of those scary things associated with aging with just a little work. Thanks for joining us. Good job, Tony. Never miss the latest videos from your Dr. Design fitness experts. Subscribe now.